Hi, this is Vivian. Thank you for tuning into my channel. And most of the time, you come here for some sort of inspiration. And I had planned to talk about something else, but what I'm going to do, because I feel like I need to change course, is to talk about the Ho'oponopono prayer. If you've ever heard of it, um, it became popularized with Joe Vitale's book, and he wrote. It, it begins well. Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian prayer for healing, and really interesting things happen when you say the Ho'oponopono prayer, just repeatedly, as in a meditation or just inwardly or out loud or but anyway, that's what I'm going to be talking. That's what I am talking about right now. Okay, here we go. So Joe Vitale was working with this fella, and he saw this one little blurb in the newspaper about this doctor in this psychologist in Hawaii who was working at a mental institution, and he began using this prayer, and a lot of miraculous things began to happen. So he, it sounded like a little bit too much to be believed. So he was so intrigued by it, he set about finding where this hospital was or is, and this doctor who actually did all these fantastical things with these patients and the institution, this hospital. And I need to tell you, it was a hospital for the mentally insane. So it's quite fascinating. So this is what he learned when he went on his search to find this doctor. His name is Dr. Liu, and Lew. So, and I'm just on the spur of the moment wanting to talk with you about this, because over the weekend, someone called me and they were having just, feeling anxious and and just feeling anxious. And I suggested that they use this Ho'oponopono prayer just to calm down and center oneself and to let go and move forward. Okay, so I sent it to them, and the person began to use it. Okay, so Joe Vitale went off and to find this doctor, and what he discovered and what he tells in the book, there was this mental institution for the criminally insane in Hawaii, and they could not keep staff there because they were approached by these patients. We were threatening them. They could not keep a doctor there because they felt that they were in danger. Their physical being was endangered by continuing to stay there. So they left. They one after another, one would come and they would leave, one would come and they would leave. So they began to look for someone who might have an unorthodox way of, actually, it wasn't that they had an unorthodox way, that they chose to become the person who would be there. I mean, they had to choose to be there, and they were psychologists, so that's all they wanted. That's what they needed. So he said, what I want you to do is to bring all of the files for all of the patients, and I want you to bring them to me every day. He didn't go and examine the patients. He just came to his office every day. Excuse me. Came to his office every day, sat down, and he would essentially take one file, open it up, begin reading it, sometimes not reading it, but just he would begin to say the prayer. And this is the prayer: I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And he would be saying it internally, just repeating that same prayer as he took each patient's file, and he would be saying that prayer within. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And he would take that file, take one file, fold it up, put it on the other side, take the next file, open it up, not necessarily reading it, but saying the prayer: I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And it would just be, he would be saying it internally. And he would take the next, close that one, the next file. He would go through all the files for that day. He would finish. He would close up his office and he'd go home. And he did this day after day after day. And what would happen after a period of time, the staff would begin to notice changes with the patients. The patients were acting differently. It became noticeable. But every day, the doctor didn't make rounds. He sat at his desk. He had his patient's files beside him. He would take one, open it up. He would say either internally or aloud, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Okay. And then we close the file again. Do the same thing day after day after day. And there were reports being written about the patients and how they were being healed from their conditions. And I make note again that it was a criminally insane institution for those patients. And this went on for a period of time. The staff began to ask, well, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? We're seeing such a drastic change in the patients here. And he began to teach the staff. I love you, the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And they began doing it internally or externally. And they too began to see changes in themselves as well as the patients. So this went on for a period of time. And what happened is that the patients were being discharged because they were getting better sufficiently enough so that they could be discharged. So one patient was discharged after another. Dr. Lou would come each day and sit at his desk and have opened that file about that one patient. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Internally. And he did it until he felt that, well, that's enough for that patient, and he closed it and put it down. Okay, so this went on. And what happened over a period of time is that the patients began to get well so that they were able to be discharged. and they didn't have any additional patients, so that they eventually had to close the hospital for the criminally insane. Now, this is a truth. I mean, it's documented. So this is a very, very powerful prayer. If you have, let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you about that. There's a lot to it, but that's the story of how Joe Vitale met him and learned what had happened. He did this process. This, not even a process, it's a prayer. He didn't go and do rounds and have face-to-face contact with them. He just did this one thing, this Ho'oponopono prayer. And the institution was closed because they didn't have patients. They were discharged. So it's phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. And my sister introduced it to me years ago, and I began using it. And it really is profound. It's profound. I've had instances in my life where I would have not liked for the situations to have happened, dealing with other people, where you feel, well, I just want to, so it's true, me. But I started doing the Ho'oponopono prayer. I read a book about it, and Dr. Lou is great. You have to do some research on him yourself, but he's phenomenal. So the prayer is simple. It's 4 lines. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And what that does is that it cleanses your spiritual body. It cleanses what you need to have cleansed and healed in your body. So you're cleaning. Okay. So the other part of this is that there's only you. There's your world. This is your world. I mean, this is everything within your world. You're responsible for. What you think is they're doing it to you, or they hate me. I don't know what to do. There's something in your life that is causing that to occur. And it's taking responsibility for that. It's not like in a bad, bad way. It's not that doesn't even factor in whether or not it's good or bad. It just is. You have that situation in your life that just is. If it's financial, or if it's a person in your life or a situation in your life, or whatever it is that is a problem for you, or a situation. It's just a situation that you want to get beyond. Try this. Do this. So you want to, and I will have the information about it down below, what it is. I'll write it out exactly and everything. And when I do hope you're getting value from this, and you will give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. Because I try to give massive value, really give you something that's going to make a difference in your life. Okay, so Dr. Lou. So I had read this book, this account of what Dr. Lou had done, and I began using it in my life. And there was a situation that I was just really troubled by. That pertain to family, and family just really gets to you. Well, I just had to cleanse that. it was like me. I needed to cleanse that from my being because I didn't know what to do externally because I had tried everything. I had, written just everything. It was just stuff, you know. So anyway, I did the Ho'oponopono prayer, and I was in nearly every room. I would, just go by and look at it and see it. And it was really, really, it made me think about it. The other thing that Dr. Lou suggested was drinking blue water, drinking water from a blue bottle, which sounds like far-fetched, but I would buy a nice bottle of wine and and then save the bottle, and then you put water in it and you sit it out in the sun for at least 20 minutes or a half hour, and then you drink that, and that helps to cleanse also spiritually. And the other thing that he talked about was that we all have the child within. You've heard that phrase, the child within. Well, the way Dr. Lou explains it is that when you're sleeping, you can put the little child within to work, and the little child within you can be repeating, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. So it's cleansing that environment. It's cleansing what you need to have in order have happen in order for your life, world, and affairs to be the way you want them, for your highest good. I always say for your highest good, because we could want things, but it may not be for our highest good. So I wanted to tell you about the little child within, and the blue bottled water, and you can just take a little bit of it and put it in your tea or coffee. You don't, like drink glasses of it. I mean, you could, but you just need to put a little bit in your beverages. If that's the way I use the blue bottled water. Okay, let's see, what else can I tell you about that? I wanted to say. No, but I just wanted to talk about the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's very healing, very powerful. And I may do a second part on this, but really I had something totally different planned to talk about, and this wanted to come out today, and wanted me to share this with you. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to it. I'm going to put the Ho'oponopono prayer in the comments below. I'm also going to also put a little gift there for you, just for taking time to listen to me, and to please subscribe to my channel, and come on back now. You hear? I enjoy you. I love you, and one of the things is that I'm more available to show love. I have big love for you. I have big love for everybody. I can't think of any person that, I just love you. And I want the best for you. And I want you to want the best for you. So this is what this channel is about. So with that, I'm going to say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. Okay. So, and I'll give you some places to go and get more information on it also. The name of Joe Vitale's book, and some other things. Okay, so have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.